Sorry to have taken so long. Must have been a bitch while I was gone. Mind if I sit down for a while? Reacquaint yourself with my style. That's for all you old fucks that like good rock. Anyway, yes, it's been a while, YouTube. Always have the best of intentions, but you know what happens? Work picked up and Christmas happened. I hope you all had a merry, wonderful Christmas. I'm glad it's over. I'm not a big Christmas fan, but the kid had a good time. That's what it's all about. And I hope you all had great Christmases in spite of the wreckage that we leave behind as a very shitty year. Is it going to get better in 2021? Don't hold your breath. But you know what? Let's try to be positive here and move forward and embrace music, because that is what gets some of us through the day. Hopefully it gets you through the day as well, because it's been a shitty year. And looking for a little happier times, a little more socialization. But, you know, take what we get. Family's healthy. Everybody's happy. As happy as we can be. And hope you're finding a little spark of light in a whole lot of darkness. But anyway, I'm here. It's been a while. I laid out some very ambitious plans in my last video, wanting to do this and that, which I'm still going to do. And but for now, I've got some house cleaning to do. I got a collection update. Next video is probably going to be a VCLT video. And I still have some reviews I have planned. And also, the long talked about Manila Road piece might be happening soon with a special guest. But anyway, the matter at hand, let's talk about some music I've been listening to. I've acquired and been listening to quite a bit. But in the background, you probably can't hear it, but we're listening to Halloween, Seven Sinners. Great album. Andy Darris. I wish you could hear it, because the songwriting's fantastic. The guitar playing's fantastic. They take speed metal, power metal, heavy metal, mix it with a German sensibility, and these guys still kick ass, and I love them a lot. Anyway, beeping. Very popular guy, very popular guy. But anyway, I got a stack of stuff I bought here in the last little bit. Been spinning some of this stuff quite a bit, and I just wanted to share some of it with you. And let's start. First off, we're going to start with a tape. This is, I think, the Boston area. Wargasm with the tape Ugly. Very trashed in transit. This is the third Wargasm album I have acquired this year, all on cassette. And this is by far the worst of the three. I think this is a later, probably one of their last releases, and it's a little groovy, a little less aggressive power metal / thrash metal. The songs did not stick with me. They kind of lost the punch. Not a big fan of this. I've only listened to it once. Gonna have to put this on a couple more times before I file it away. So I'm not off to a really great start, but let's continue onward with a couple things I have been pretty excited about. I've made no... haven't been hiding the fact that I've been very much into Devin Townsend this year, and I'm slowly trying to fill in the holes in my collection, both in Strapping Young Lad and DTP and all of his other myriad of projects. I realized that City is the only Strapping Young Lad I've owned. And changing that. So I'm not sure if I showed these. I may have showed them in an older video. I'm not sure. But I've been listening to the hell out of Alien. And Orange is the New Black. I'm sorry. It's not Orange is it's the New Black. Orange is the New Black is the prison documentary on Showtime. I don't know. These are later day Strapping Young Lad albums. Alien is probably the better of the two. Alien is simplistic but really hard hitting and made eternally special by the drum work of Gene Hoglan, who is a fucking machine and the best drummer on the planet. The song Skekis, definitely the highlight of this album. Shitstorm, simplistic, down-tuned but very modern sounding riffs. Devin's patented screaming / singing style, very much the forefront. This album, the song It's in a circle. You suck. It's funny and very well done, and the triplet double bass work on this, fantastic. If you're strapping only, I still have a few things to go. I need to get the self-titled and the first album, and I think I'll have them all at that point. But even though this isn't the best in their catalog, it's still a good album. Next up, the Chechenian band, probably one dude, Kite. Yeah. I wish I could get on and rant and rave how great this is, but I'm kind of on the fence. I listened to this initially in the car. It's such lo-fi, underground black metal, very atmospheric in nature. Drums are an afterthought. Drums are used to keep time, and they're so buried in the mix, probably because they're fake. And the shrill guitar tone was entirely too piercing in the vehicle to listen to, and it was honestly annoying. I did not really start to connect with this album until I started listening to it on a proper stereo. And the Kite, this is a compilation that puts together all of their tape releases up. I think this is all of it. This came out in 2015. It's got all their releases on it. So it seemed like a good acquisition. And I will say I do like this style. This Kite stuff seemed to me very much... I would be really surprised if a lot of this was planned out. A lot of it, you know, the songs might seem half planned, but there's a lot of room for improvisation, which... I don't know if I'm so into that. It sounded like the drums could have been interchangeable between all the songs, to be honest, and he just started off with a new key to start on and new layers, and yeah, there's some points where riffs repeat, which tells me that's more planned out, but there's a lot of loose dissonance leading up to those parts. Haunted background voice screaming through the mix. This is good, and if you're into this style, you're going to definitely salute, and I do like it. It sounded way better on a stereo. In the vehicle, it was annoying. Not something I'm listening to a lot, but it's been entertaining. I got it for cheap, too, so I can't complain about that. Next up is a band that has kind of woke me up to black metal, which I've always loved black metal. Don't get me wrong, black metal is fine, but I kind of fell out of favor with it for the last couple of years. It started to annoy the crap out of me. But this band kind of single-handedly got me back into the spirit of it, the feel of it, and it's from Norway's Mork. I don't know which order these CDs are in. They should be in, I think it's like this. But yes, I think I saw Mork on a live stream during the pandemic. Quite impressed. They're Norwegian black metal. They very much adhere to the true spirit of Norwegian black metal, much like the band Tulka. A lot of Norwegian bands for me lost the spirit, lost the muse over the years. Tulka maintain it. Mork maintain it. Very much in the spirit of old Dark Throne. This is Iselbecka, early one. Production isn't as good on this one. Den Pendrida Skuga. Yeah, I'm not Norwegian. Eremittens Dal. It's probably my favorite of the bunch. And Det Svart Julv. Really well produced black metal from Norway. There's a lot of depth in the recordings. The drums, it started off, I think, as a solo project, which is kind of now formed into a full band. They have a new EP out, which I have not got yet. I have listened to it, probably not going to get it. Acoustic stuff, Burzum cover, kind of throwaway, but there's a new full length coming out, which I will be getting. But all these albums are really well done, really well sculpted, Norwegian black metal. Super harsh vocals, and a lot of it revolves around the older Dark Throne black metal feel. So don't look for originality, just look for very well written, very well considered, very true to the spirit of Norwegian black metal. And it will connect with you as it did connect with me. Very much been in rotation repeatedly. All 4 of these have been constant rotation for the past several months. And after getting one of the albums, I realized I need the rest of them. This is kind of a similar situation, and I yet to have all of these, but I was on a stream with some of the guys, probably over at Rick's channel, Dreadful Minutes, and Alan was talking about this band, Storm Warrior. I believe they are from Germany. I'm not entirely sure about that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I should have done my research, but he mentioned that I would probably like this album because I'm a big Halloween fan, and he was fucking right, because this is basically a Halloween tribute band. I don't think they're a self-professed Halloween tribute band, but this sounds like Walls of Jericho era Halloween, so much so that Kai Hansen has... This was recorded in Kai Hansen's studio with Kai and Dirk from Gamma Ray. And Kai even lends his vocals, and I think some guitar work to this album on a couple songs. And holy shit, this is 1985 German speed metal with power metal leanings. The singer sounds exactly like Kai during that time, that scream, melodic scream. This isn't power metal, it's speed metal, very much German speed metal focused. It's fucking awesome. It's really well done, really well written. And I paid way too much for the CD. I found that all these CDs are not very cheap. And after going on Metal Archives and finding that all of the albums except for one have a really high rating, I'm on a tear to try to get all their stuff. So this is the one I've had the longest and have listened to the most. It is amazing. It is fantastic. Next up is Storm Warrior Northern Rage. I think this is their second album. I could be entirely wrong on this. But again, solid 1985, Walls of Jericho influenced, heavy metal, speed metal, with Viking I think Viking themes. So maybe they're Swedish? Don't know. But they're talking about Swedish themes and are German in style completely. I've only listened to this a couple times. It's fantastic. Amazing speed metal / German style. This one I just got the other day. Thunder and Steel, Storm Warrior. The one I've listened to the least. I've only listened to this once. But these guys are fucking awesome. And you can actually go online, look up Storm Warrior, and look up the cover Ride the Sky, which is a classic Halloween song and probably one of the best speed metal, power metal songs ever made. And you will see Storm Warrior playing them at a big festival with Kai Hansen singing. And in fact, Kai has done several shows with these guys playing old Halloween songs that were on the EPs, like Warrior, Victim of Fate. All that shit is online. And these guys are doing it right. They're completely in the true spirit of German power / speed metal. Excellent band. I would recommend checking them out. I still have a couple to get, but they're not cheap, and it sucks. Next up, I think this is a German band as well. This is the only album by this band that I have. It's Summon the Hordes by Protector. What the fuck have I been doing? These guys are great thrash metal. There's a slight black tinge to this, but I don't know where this falls in their catalog other than this is a High Roller Records pressing. And these guys are great, and I really kick myself with somehow missing all the classics. I've seen people talk about many of these guys' albums, and again, it seems like the only thing affordable online to research their catalog is Russian bootlegs. Will I succumb? I don't know, but check this out. Summon the Hordes is a good album. And on the other side of the spectrum is Sabotage, Handful of Rain. I picked this up and talked about this used CD haul, and I was, out of the stack of Sabotage albums I got, I was most interested in listening to this first because it has Alex Skolnick on guitar. And guess what? This is absolute garbage. This is one of those albums that I came this close to just chucking in the garbage. I can't even save the jewel case because it has some chemical stain on it. This is really bad. It's like super cheesy, traditional metal. You know, a guy shows up to the photo shoot in a daddy vest and no shirt. I don't even think John Olivia is on this. And to me, that, well, it's co-produced by John Oliva. I'm sorry, I said Olivia. It's Oliva. Let me see. I don't think he even sings on this. No, Zachary Stevens sings on this. This is just really weak, fucking borderline cock rock garbage, and I was shocked. I've got like 3 or 4 more Sabotage albums that I have bought in this used thing, and I'm really hoping that they're not as crappy as this, because this is really bad, and I'm going to withhold judgment and save it from the circular file and give it another spin when maybe I'm in the mood. I got to thinking, is this just because I'm not in the mood for this right now, or is it just that bad? And whew, not good. Very bad. And we're nearing the end here. This is going to be a quick update. I got a little stack of vinyl here, 2 of which are, realized my Tulka collection was missing a few new releases, and both of which are 10 inches. And the first one is Tulka and Whoredom Rife with Pact. This is actually a really nice package on, I want to say this is on Van Records, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. You know, it's amazing people are still doing 10 inches because they're very expensive to produce. And this thing has got a huge poster in it, which is somehow missing. Maybe it was the other one that had the poster. Nope, it was in the other sleeve. Very cool poster. It's kind of weird to put up a split release poster, but pretty cool. This, to be honest, I bought this obviously for Tulka because I'm a fan of that band, and I think that Host does a great job in maintaining the true spirit of Norwegian black metal as far as sound goes. But on this song, on this 10-inch, his song is pretty weak. The Whoredom Rife split side of this split is quite good. The song was quite engaging, very much in the black metal, Norwegian black metal spirit. Very engaging track. It's so much so that it inspired me to buy a handful of Whoredom Rife CDs, which finally have gotten here after a long time in postal purgatory. But great stuff. It inspired me to check out Whoredom Rife, and I'm glad to have this. I'll be spinning this a bit more. And this other one is a Tulka Death Cult split. Host is in, sorry, still in the shrink. Host plays bass, I believe, in this Death Cult band. So his fingers are in these projects, and the Death Cult side is not the best. Tulka side on this is far better, far superior, really well written black metal. This comes with something as well, another poster. Oh yeah, oh yeah. In Grandma's basement, striking a pose. It's cool, man. And kind of cool. Die cut. So yeah, a little bit closer to having old Tulka stuff. Not on vinyl. I don't have them all on vinyl. I have most of the shit on CD. Good stuff. Glad I tracked them down. Next up, I have been in a major Kiss mood. Cheers me up and makes me relive my youth a little bit. And I have 2 of these on CD. Wanted to have them on vinyl because I just realized as I went through my Kiss collection on vinyl that I should have all of them on vinyl. And so I found Kiss Dynasty, which many would recommend or consider their disco album. And yes, I Was Made for Loving You is obviously a disco inspired track. Sure Knows Something, Charisma, Dirty Livin', Hard Times, X-Ray Eyes, all great songs. What makes this album are the vocal harmonies. The four of these guys harmonizing is inspiring, well done. Love it or hate it, I love this album. I love this era. A little glammy, but you know what? The songs hold up. 2000 Man, Rolling Stones cover. Love it or hate it, I love it. Next up, one of my favorites, Kiss's Ace Frehley solo album. I never had this on vinyl. I always had this on 8-track, which is probably still at my parents' house, and CD. Had to have this on vinyl, complete the set, and doesn't have the poster, doesn't have the order forms that came with the original batch, but has the jacket still, the sleeve still intact. Ace and Paul's solo albums are far superior to all the 4 solo albums. Gene's has a couple okay songs on it, is mostly garbage, and Peter's is completely garbage. It is both basically a soul record, and I always thought Peter's voice in the early days was superior to all the rest of these guys. He had this bluesy snarl to his voice on songs like Black of Diamond are just fucking great, and live he just screams his brains out. So good. But his solo album sucks. But Ace's is great. This is some of the best shit Ace ever wrote, to be honest, as is Paul's solo album. Some of the best Kiss stuff ever made was written by Paul on his solo album. But that's that. Next up, I realized that this came out and I somehow missed it. This is Kisty Destroyer Resurrected. Basically, for the anniversary of this album, I don't remember the 25 or 35 year anniversary of this album. Bob Ezrin went back in and to the sessions, the original tapes, and remastered this album. And along with remastering it, he basically added some harmonies and a few vocal lines. And in the case of the song Sweet Pain, there is a different Ace solo. Apparently, the original Ace solo for that song, at the time, Bob didn't like it, so he had him do a different one or had someone else do a different one. I don't know exactly how it all boils down. But, different solo in there. It's kind of cool to hear it. The guitars are way heavier on this, but as he beefed up the guitars on the masters of this, it kind of stepped on the little nuances that were in the background. So like some vocal stuff is kind of lost and the drums are a little bit quieter because of it. I don't know how I feel about that, but it does sound better as far as the guitars being heavier, which is kind of a nice touch, to be honest. Kiss early on, I think, always kind of suffered from a weak guitar sound. I mean, listen to that early BOC stuff. It kind of was like the recording techniques back then. I mean, like that early BOC stuff, the guitars aren't even distorted at all, which is bizarre to listen to. And you try to imagine that shit with an actual like distortion, it would have definitely changed that material considerably. And you know, you kind of get a little bit of that glimpse on this. Very good. I've enjoyed it. You know, out of all the years, I think Destroyer was their breakthrough album, and they've been milking this album since this album came out. I mean, their set list now is very much centered around Destroyer. You know, songs like King of the Nighttime World, Detroit Rock City, Shout It Out Loud, God of Thunder. I mean, all that shit. This Walmart edition came on a translucent orange, and there's a booklet in here with the original cover artwork and a write-up by Ezrin discussing what he did going into this session. But yeah, if you're a Kiss fan, you don't have this, I would say, you're thinking, why do I need this? Which is kind of what I did. I said, fuck it, because I was looking at my copy of Destroyer that my friend Jimmy Masta gave me in grade school. It's fucking trashed. It's trashed. The album cover's coming apart. The jacket's coming apart. The record's in pretty seriously sad shape. So I figured if I'm going to upgrade it. I might as well get this new thing remastered, check it out, and I'm glad I did. It's been pretty cool. I spent probably a little too much money for this, but fuck it. Good shit. And yes, that's the end of this collection update. Thank you all for sticking around with me and watching and commenting and liking or disliking. That's fine. It's been good to see you, and thanks for being patient with me. Like I said, got kind of busy, haven't had time with the holidays and everything going on to get in front of the camera, but here I am, and I got more to come. I don't know exactly when it's going to be bubbling up, but I've been doing this for a lot of years. I'm probably not going anywhere. If there's a delay in content, it's probably a good reason. But anyway, if this is the last video of the year, I really hope you guys have a better year next year, and you're all healthy and happy and enriching your life with music. Thank you so much for watching. You guys take care.